versus Pistons, who's going to win? While there are games going on tomorrow, some teams have already locked up their matchup, and one of them being Knicks versus Pistons, 3 versus 6. So being that the Knicks are the higher seed and a 50-win team, do we think that the Knicks are going to win? Let me break down why my answer is yes. Compared to last year when the Pistons lost like 26 straight, this is a completely different team. Cade Cunningham is up for Most Improved Player of the Year. I think that he might win the award, but if he doesn't, he definitely is a top 2 candidate. And the whole team in general, like, they have completely turned things around in one season. Because again, last year, they won like 16 games. And now they are a 6 seed. That is a big turnaround. They play great defense. They always play hard. And they have a lot of good players, young, talented players on their team. So they are not going to be an easy out. Because one thing about younger teams is they have a lot of energy. However, one of the things about being young also means that they are inexperienced. Now, let me just say, they do have some veterans and leaders and people with playoff experience, such as Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley. So it's not that they don't have any veterans on their team, but your star, your number 1 player, Cade Cunningham, is still only like 23, and this would be his first playoffs ever. And same with a bunch of the people, in the starting lineup, like Jalen Duren. And a bunch of players just on the roster in general have never been to the playoffs. Whereas the Knicks, pretty much everybody on that roster has been to the playoffs. And we know that their number 1 option, Jalen Brunson, is probably going to win Clutch Player of the Year, unless they discount, the fact that he was out a bunch of games. But he was going to win Clutch Player of the Year. Like, he does it. So the Knicks, we know, they play super hard as well. So even if the Pistons are playing relentless, defense and just have relentless energy, the Knicks do the exact same thing. So in a way, you could say that cancels out. And I would say in the playoffs, the Knicks are going to, and this is no shade to the Pistons, but this is about being young and inexperienced, the Knicks will end up playing better defense because they will know what to do at certain times. It's just like an experience thing. There can be a team who has more talented defenders on their roster, but if none of them have ever been to the playoffs, they might not be the better defensive team, because when it's on a certain play at a certain time, there's a certain way to do it. And I know that's not really explaining, but if you watch playoff basketball, you know it's just a completely different animal. The other thing is teams, and this goes for both teams, of course, you get the benefit of being able to focus and lock in on one opponent, and that's all you have to think about. But again, that tends to favor the more experienced team, because they're not thinking about, okay, we got to go fly out tomorrow and this, all the other things. Now the more experienced team is focused on you. So they already know how to get it done in general. But now that they are focused on you, they have a better chance of stopping you. So that's that from like the defensive side of the ball and just the inexperience and potentially, some players get rattled their first time in the playoffs. And then, as they get more experience, then that doesn't happen anymore. Like, you have to do something before you know how to do it, So that's one reason that I'm sure people are going to discount, but that's a big thing. We see it all the time. Experience matters. The second thing is that, as I was mentioning, Jalen Brunson is Mr. Clutch. Now, he is still getting his legs under him, but I think he'll be, good enough to go for the first round matchup. The Knicks have a ton of firepower. I mean, Cat, we know he can get 30 on any given night. And the thing is, OG, I've been talking about OG all year. OG is having a career year. As long as OG is going to continue to play the way that he was playing before, well, he started playing like this a little bit before Brunson got hurt, but while Brunson was hurt, especially given the fact that, like I said, Brunson is still getting his legs under him. If OG is going to be aggressive and Mikal Bridges is going to be aggressive, I don't think the Pistons are going to have enough to stop this team. I think one of the things where the Knicks are going to outshine the Pistons is on the offensive glass, because we know, although I think of recent, they haven't been the best offensive rebounding team, but we know the Knicks feed off of second chance points. Mitchell Robinson obviously being one of their best offensive rebounders. So I do think that is one of the places where they will out-hustle the Pistons and just get to the loose balls. By the way, Josh Hart leads the entire league in loose balls recovered, and I don't think it's even close. Landry Shamet has finally found his shot. That was something that was a little bit of a concern because he seemed to be struggling for a while, so he is peaking at the right time. I think he hit 6 threes the other night, so this is the perfect time to be in rhythm, so that's definitely good for them. Like I said, although Brunson is still, getting his legs under him, when the big moments show up, he shows up. Or when the big moments come, rather, he shows up. Like, there's a reason why he's probably going to win Clutch Player of the Year. And he's tough. Like, I don't know if his ankle is still hurting at all. I don't know if it's, like I said, more just rust rather than any kind of lingering pain. But even if there is lingering pain, you will not be able to know because he's going to play hard and play through it. And the thing is, he'll still hit shots in your face on a busted ankle. And so this is what I've said for a while and what I said earlier in the year when I was talking about the Knicks, although this was before Brunson got hurt. But at the same time, I said, if it comes down to the wire, if we're talking about the game is on the line and you're giving someone a shot and it's the Knicks versus somebody else and Brunson has the ball, I'm going to take the Knicks to win because Brunson, again, is always making the clutch shots. I can't remember too many shots that he's missed in the clutch. And so when I made that prediction where I said the Knicks are going to the finals, this was a few months ago, and some people were like, whoa, like with that prediction. And to me, what I said, I don't know if I said it in the video or if I said it in the comments, but this is my point. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off track here, but it just, all ties back in. When the game is on the line, obviously if Boston is blowing them out or the Cavs are blowing them out, right, if they're in the Eastern Conference Finals or whatever, then of course they're not going to win, right? But I was saying if it's coming down to the wire and the money's on the line, I know Brunson will pull through. Now, for Boston, for example, I know Derek White will also pull through. Like, he is clutch for them as well, right? But I was just saying, I am confident that Brunson will hit all the shots that he needs to make in order to win the game. And so I was like, I'll take my chances if the game is on the line that the Knicks will beat those teams if, it's in clutch time. And so I say all that to say, if this game comes down to the wire, because again, it's going to be hard fought. The Pistons are not just going to give it up. I still say they're going to make it because, one, of all the things I said prior, but Brunson is going to make all the clutch shots. I think this series might go 5, honestly. I know some people are going to be like, that's not fair to the Pistons. I really do think inexperience, matters. And hey, listen, I could be wrong. I have been rooting for Cade all year. I am not rooting against Cade or anything like that. I'm not rooting against the Pistons, but I just seen enough NBA that I know playoff basketball is completely different. And sometimes some of the younger teams prevail against what things that I'm saying, but I feel in this case it'll be 5, maybe 6, and the Knicks win and move on.